So yeah, real quick, want to just chat with you and show you what we got going on. We got here yesterday at this house, two-story house, and the task was and is to remove the popcorn, remove the popcorn ceiling and turn it into a smooth ceiling and then paint it. So that's what we're doing. We got here yesterday. The ceilings were all covered with popcorn texture. We came in here, we went to town, and we removed all of the popcorn on all the ceilings. So now there's different techniques and different strategies that you can take when dealing with popcorn ceiling removal. It's just not as simple as doing one thing or employing one tactic or one strategy on every project that you do. It doesn't really work like that. So there's a couple things happening. First thing is popcorn ceiling is on, and it's the type of popcorn ceiling that you can just sand it with the vacuum, suck it up, comes right off. And then you have popcorn that you have to wet, and you can just as easily as wet it with water and then scrape it off. And then, depending on the density of the popcorn and maybe some other factors, is dependent on how many times you have to wet it. This one here, we wet it 3 times. So we went through, wet it 1 time, wet it a second time, and then went through and wet it a third time, and then we went to town to scrape the popcorn off. And then another thing that happens is that sometimes the popcorn just doesn't scrape off. It's been painted several times. Maybe it was a popcorn ceiling that was sprayed over top of some existing painted ceilings already. That's the most difficult. Popcorn doesn't come off at that point. And so sometimes you have to resort with not being able to scrape it off, but just skim coat over it. Take some, I always advise take some mesh tape and go over the whole ceiling with mesh tape, and then skim coat over it. Because if you just skim coat over it and you wet it, saturate it, chances are in some areas, it's happened to us on several occasions before we learned and knew better. When you skim coat it, some areas, the compound will soften it up and then it starts coming off. At least the mesh tape kind of helps it all mesh together. And the fiber fuse, we've used that on a couple of different projects lately. The fiber fuse is pretty nice. So I would recommend the fiber fuse for skim coating over popcorn textured ceilings. And so we came in here and we scraped it. Now this morning, what we're doing is the edges. So the seams and the butt joints were coated. They were third coated. Everything was nice and smooth. But the corners looked like they didn't mud the ceiling corners when they sprayed the popcorn. So we have to mud all the ceiling corners. We have to coat all the ceiling corners. That's what we're going to do this morning. One of my guys is going to do all the corners, and I am going to do some of the patches that the electrician left behind. So I'm going to, fill in some of the patches, tape some of the patches with some easy sand, then go up over it with a final coat, and we'll be done with that. And then we should be done with everything today. We'll be off over the weekend. Then we come back Monday, and we should be able to sand it, and then prime it, start priming it and painting it. I'm also going to sand. So we scraped off the popcorn off the ceiling. we're gonna do the corner, so we're gonna have to sand the corner. So I'm gonna take the power sander and I'm gonna sand all the ceilings, to make sure that any of the dust, any of the popcorn dust and stuff is off. Because I've noticed that if we don't clean the ceiling after scraping it or sand it, suck it up, and we skim coat over it or paint over it, it tends to want to peel because you're painting over or dust, or you're mudding over dust. So I'm gonna sand it, sweep it before I paint it. And so yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna turn the camera around, show you around real quick, and then we appreciate you if you would just give us a comment, let us know what you think, any objections, any agreements, any other type of strategies that you suggest, or any way that you do it is welcome in the comment section. If you like this content, give us a like, give us a share, subscribe, so that the next time we upload or go live, you'll get notified. So without further ado, I'm gonna turn it around and show you around real quick. This is the living room, kitchen. I'll go back around to the kitchen. Here's one of the bedrooms. So the popcorn ceiling came off fairly easy. And we wet it a couple times and scraped right off. So that was pretty good. I've had other ones where we had a more difficult time. Here's the kitchen. Right above the stove. This was a more difficult area. I don't know if it was maybe, I don't know the logics behind it, anything like that, but maybe the grease or the steam or whatever just kind of hardened the texture right above, on the ceiling above this stove, or kind of made it stick to the ceiling more than the rest of the areas. See, the rest of the areas came off, scraped off easy, but we had a harder time scraping it off here. That's why you see, a lot of digs. But that's fine. We can, we'll fix those digs fairly easy. And then we go upstairs. Let's go in here. It's like a master bedroom. Some angled closets. Came off real easy up here. Popcorn came off super easy up here. The bathroom. Some of the tape was just detached on the corners, so we didn't cut them out. We're just planning on filling them back in, letting it dry, coating right over it. See the same thing here. All right. Another bedroom here. Popcorn scraped off fairly easy here too. Wet it and scrape it. Simple as that. At this house. And then here's the other bedrooms. Got an angled ceilings. Angled ceiling. Couple angles. Piece of cake. Not too bad. But yeah, so again, like I said, thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll check y'all out on the next one. Peace.